Hello, welcome to a somewhat special edition of Black and Orange today. Uh, I usually just do tarot readings, a bit of astrology, but today we're actually going to do something a little different. I have a pot of tea, I have a cup, and I have notes because I am going to tell you the mythical tale of the Hunter Biden laptop. And this is not tarot, this is not astrology. This is based on interviews with the repairman. This is based on new reporting from reputable news sources. I want to make sure that you know the real story. So this is political tea talk. How about that? We'll call it that. Oh, thank you, Sampras. Revolution Ricky, and the star of the show, the inspiration behind the character of Beetlejuice. Aw, who was saying kidding? No, he's not. He's not chaotic. I understand what you're saying, but yes, notes and notes, Jay Brumley. Yes. Yes. Kelly says you have a small book. Well, welcome to OCD. I don't do things by halves. All right, so I have my good teapot. Oh, I even have my nice little cloth here, my little William Morris cloth. And I like these. I like this cloth and the overlay here where the birds are all saying, "What the heck?" Yeah, it's going to be that kind of story. All right. I don't have a whole set. I just have 2 cups and a teapot, which is fine. All right. Shall we pour the tea? Because this is real tea. This isn't, like I said, this is not just conjecture. Let me stir this just a little bit, and we shall begin with today's story. Sorry, it's probably a terrible sound, but I thought I'd use a real spoon today. Okay. Gather around. So I think I'll just put this all there, and I'll put my notes right here. Okay. So let's go through this. Let's go through this bit by bit. Let's look at the timeline, shall we? What is the tea today? Oh, it is always Twinings Earl Grey. I'm a big fan. Made with the loose tea, not the tea bags. To your good health. All right. In Joe, so let's go way back to Joe Biden was vice president from 2009 until 2017. Okay? We all know that. And anything here that is conjecture, I will say it is conjecture. Something went wrong with my lipstick in a big way. A huge hole. There. Sorry. Okay. Sorry about that. So Joe Biden Sr. was he was vice president from 2009 until 2017. We know that. Okay. Now, in 2019, so the year before the presidential election, according to Time magazine, so this is not some fly-by-night, news source that was started last week. According to Time magazine, explicit photos and emails purportedly belonging to Hunter Biden, Joe Biden's son, were circulating in Ukraine. At the same time, Rudy Giuliani was searching for dirt there on former Vice President Joe Biden. Okay. Apparently, quote, over the past year, the practice of selling or leaking private communications has become so common in Ukraine that the government has announced plans to pass a law against it. Okay, unquote. Two people said that they were approached, one in May of 2019 and one in mid-September of 2019, with an offer to buy the salacious information. Now, Hunter Biden is a recovering addict. At this time, and just before this time, his addiction was particularly bad. He would take selfies in stupid places, compromising positions, but it's really hard to blackmail somebody when this is all known. I mean, it's not much of a secret, but okay. So, in Ukraine, this information was circulating. From where? From what? Okay, but that's that. They wanted $5 million. Both people who were offered the information declined to buy it. Okay. So that was in May and mid-September of 2019. Now, April 2019, so a month before this first offer, there is a repair shop. It's called the Mac Shop, as in Macintosh. The Mac Shop in Wilmington, Delaware, which is owned by John Paul McIsaac. All right. He is, here, let me share this with you so you know who I'm talking about, because this is important. It's important you see the guy. Share screen. All right. He is an American, but he's very proud of his Scottish heritage. And you will basically always see him in this sort of, he's always going for this look. All right. Now you will notice that he has very light colored eyebrows, and what little you can see of his hair is also very light colored. All right. That is because this man is an albino, and he is handicapped by it because he's had immense trouble with his eyes. He is currently, and at this time, for a long time, he has been legally blind. He can see about 4 to 6 inches in front of himself, so he can get right up against a screen to see while he's repairing things. But if you are standing like this distance, you are really blurry. And if you look carefully, let me go back to this. Oh no, let me open this image back up. All right, let me share this again so you can notice. Share screen. Okay, if you notice, one of his eyes is even a bit askew, a bit off center. So he really does have vision problems, okay? Fair enough. Poor guy. But he has found a way to make this work, started his own shop. There we go. All right. He says that on April 12th, 2009, a man came in with three MacBook Pros. He says he received specifically a 13-inch MacBook Pro. They all had water damage. And the one was a total loss. The other one, the keyboard was damaged, so he simply attached a separate keyboard and was able to deal with the files in the hard drive to a point. Now, here's some key points here. He would be able to transfer a few folders before the computer shut itself down, and then it would repeat, and he'd get a few more folders, and the computer would shut itself down. This meant he was only able to move a few folders at a time. He was not able to take what would otherwise be one block, take the information off of the MacBook Pro as one block, which would be a forensic copy. He was not able to do that. Okay. When the work was completed, McIsaac repeatedly attempted to contact Hunter Biden, he says, who had signed a repair authorization. Hunter Biden never responded. Never. So McIsaac considered it abandoned property. Okay. Do I have that handy? Yes, I do. Matter of fact, I found, here we go. This is from the New York Post. McIsaac wrote a book, and he wrote a book about what had happened, what he says happened, and there is an excerpt of it in the New York Post. This was May 6th this year. The night I met Hunter Biden, Mac shop owner John McIsaac recounts fateful encounter in exclusive excerpt. There's some really, really interesting little tidbits in this. So let me read you just a portion. It was Friday night, and it was 10 minutes before the shop was going to close. And the door chime sounded. It was, as was usual for this time of day, I thought, what kind of person expects quality service right before closing time? I've worked in a place where customers come in. That's not exactly what exactly I think when someone comes in 5 minutes before closing time or 10 minutes before closing time, but okay, we'll just go with it. I struggled. These are McIsaac's words. I struggled not to roll my eyes when in stumbled a man clutching 3 MacBook Pros. He was about my height, so about 6 feet tall, but a little heavier. Okay, a little heavier than John Paul McIsaac, the store owner himself. He wore casual clothing, dark blue and gray. Alcohol fumes preceded him. He slid 3 laptops onto the bar counter as he fumbled for a seat. Okay. I'm glad you're still open, he said. I just came from the cigar bar and they told me about your shop, but I had to hurry because you close at 7. I could show you a picture of the Mac shop if you'd like, but it's not really useful. He looked older than me, but had a surprisingly high-pitched voice. An air of entitlement radiated off him. Great, I thought. another one who thinks the world revolves around them. To him, I said cordially, you made it just in time. He said, I need the data recovered off these, but they all have liquid damage and won't turn on. Liquid damage. Conjecture of how this actually went down. Yes, my American MacBook Pro has damage of liquid. End of conjecture. Well, let's get you checked in and see what's going on. One of the computers had a Beau Biden Foundation sticker covering the Apple logo. Now understand, this man cannot see clearly more than 4 to 6 inches in front of him, beyond that point. And that Hunter Biden came in, slid the 3 laptops onto the counter and fumbled for a seat. So there's a bar, and there's either a seat on the other side or there's a seat off to the side, but okay. So one of the computers had a Beau Biden Foundation sticker covering the Apple logo. Okay. But I wasn't sure at first whom I was talking to. I opened my customer relationship management software, CRM, and asked him for his first name. Hunter, he said. I then asked him for his last name. He paused and looked at me funny, as if I were from another country, and how dare I not know who he was? Biden, he responded with a sarcastic edge. I collected his phone number and email, fed them into the system. Once the paperwork was started, I paused and remembered that this guy had lost his brother Beau about 2 or 3 years earlier. Okay. And I felt a little bad for him. Okay. Maybe the Mac with the sticker belonged to his now deceased brother. Okay. And it would bring closure to have access to those memories trapped inside. Okay. On any other night, especially a Friday, being that I was very single, I would have collected the machines and looked at them the next day. For some reason, maybe misplaced compassion, his brother died. Nothing changes the fact that his brother died, so why is it misplaced? I decided to check them over then and there. One at a time, I performed a quick inspection of the machines. The 15-inch laptop was a complete write-off. It had extensive liquid damage, and because the drive was soldered to the logic board, which is what happens on MacBook Pros, data recovery was beyond my capability. If a Mac can't power on, you won't be able to access the drive to get the data. Okay. The 13-inch 2015 MacBook Pro was in slightly better shape. It could boot up, but the keyboard was unresponsive. I pulled out an external keyboard and asked for permission to log in. Hunter started laughing. My password is effed up, he said. Don't be offended. Before announcing it was, I'm not going to repeat what it was. It was something very rude, sexual, whatever. His inebriated condition made it difficult to understand his speech. Conjecture. It's not easy getting a Russian drunk who's in my line of business, but end of conjecture. My eyes widened a bit at his password, and I told him that maybe it would be best if he tried to log in himself. Hey, you fixed it, he stated, slurring slightly. I asked if he had an external keyboard he could use, and he just looked at me blankly. Here, you can borrow this one to perform the recovery yourself, I told him. That way, I don't have to check it in and bill you. Just bring it back when you're done. It would have been less work for me that way, and again, I felt bad for this guy. This is his John Paul McIsaac's own words, published. Pulled the blinds, locked the door. To avoid any more interruptions, then I grabbed an Amstel Light from the fridge and planted myself in front of the recovery Mac. Here's where things started to get interesting. Oh, yeah. Oh, they're interesting, all right, but not quite in the way you think. The previous recovered window was open on the left. I was waiting for the hundreds of files on the original to populate to the right. Scrolling down, I started to see files that didn't align. I started to individually drag and drop files to the recovery folder. It took only a few files before I noticed pornography appearing in the right column. If you fix computers for a living, you are going to see porn on people's computers. Especially, I would imagine, most men of a certain age, but also women of a certain age, or I don't know, at any age. But you're going to see it. This is a vocational hazard, he says. I'd gotten rather used to it and gave it no mind. I was a little amazed at the sheer quantity, though, and by the boldness of leaving porn files on one's desktop. The industry as a whole tries not to think about it. It's gross, but I was hired to do a job, and I was going to do it. Then it has just pictures of Hunter Biden in a jockstrap. Shocking. It didn't take long before, okay, naked selfie, whatever. How many of these does he have, I wondered. Okay. On and on. And I tried to work out how to keep a straight face when he returned for the recovery data. Silly. Why not? You know. Lucky Girl says, let's encourage Autumn to chug her tea so we don't have to worry about her laptop. Well, it's an iPad Pro. The keyboard's part of the case, so it's fine. And it's also solid. Anyway, or close enough. Now, are you with me so far? It's a Friday night, April 12th, 2019. McIsaac has his Amstel Light. He is sitting in front of what is allegedly Hunter Biden's laptop. He's seeing lots of photos of this man in his skivvies or less. Maybe the odd woman here or there. Okay. And it is this man's job to copy these files folder by folder. Remember, he cannot get an actual forensic copy because he cannot copy the entire thing at once. This is going to be important later. I continued copying files until I got to one titled income.pdf. I likely wouldn't even have noticed it if it hadn't been tagged with a purple dot. Oh, he's going to blame the purple dot, I suppose. On a Mac, you can apply tags or color codes to files as an organizational aid. It seemed odd that someone who clearly had zero organizational skills would bother tagging this one file purple. It was begging to be clicked open, so I did. It was begging. It's the purple dot. The purple dot. Who can resist a purple dot? I mean, seriously. You know how often I put purple dots on my overlays? People come flocking to watch the videos. It was an email from January 16th, 2017. Okay. At the top were the years 2013, 2014, and 2015. Next to each year was the amount of taxable income earned. Yes, dear. Just instead of just throwing a whole bunch of numbers at you, I'll simplify this. 2013, $800,000 income. 2014, $850,000, amended to $1.2 million in 2014. 2015, $2.4 million income. Hi. You are a sweetheart. Yes, you are. You are adorable. You are just a good boy. Okay, hopefully he'll stay there. Okay. All right. Oh, the tea's actually quite cold now. It's not hot at all. I was blown away. You were blown away. All that money and this blank couldn't spring for a backup drive. I read on. Amounts that I could never even have imagined earning were broken down by the year. Then I read, quote, since you couldn't have lived on $550,000 a year, you borrowed some money from RSB in advance of payments. I was speechless. This guy couldn't live on more than 10 times what I earned every year. The whole document seemed shady. I saw that a lot of money had exchanged hands, and it didn't seem like it had been recorded lawfully. And you are deciding that it couldn't have been recorded lawfully because you're looking at a summary PDF that you have no business looking at in the first place. Because at this point, this was not his private property. It had not been abandoned there after 90 days or whatever the thing is. This was the first night, and he's in this guy's PDF. The whole document seemed shady. I saw that a lot of money had exchanged hands, and it didn't seem like it had been recorded lawfully. But what did I know? A lot more than you should. He can see if it's between 4 and 6 inches away from his face. So as long as he gets up real close, he can read it. Other than that, but like a person? Nope. Plus, it was none of my business. Really? You don't say. Really? Yeah, I guess it really was none of your business. Yeah. From one PDF that he doesn't have any. Okay. It wasn't my job to judge, just to transfer and verify. So I kept transferring data until I hit a rather large file. The file was about half transferred when the screen went blank. Battery had run out. Okay. I decided to call it a night, go home and rest my eyes. About 100 gigabytes were left to go, and I felt confident I could knock it out the next day. I let the MacBook charge overnight and went home, but not before thoroughly washing my hands. Let's go back to what else we know from reliable sources. Hunter Biden apparently did sign for the repair authorization. Apparently it's close to his signature, he was drunk. Okay, so this was April 12th, 2019. In July, Rudy Giuliani made public allegation against Hunter Biden's business dealings with Ukraine. Okay, remember back in May and then later in mid-September, there was all this stuff circulating in Ukraine about that was supposedly from Hunter Biden, from his emails, his files, his pictures. Apparently, Hunter Biden worked. Okay, now 2019, not 2009. Did I misspeak? Please correct me if I am wrong. Oh, are there any fingerprints on these laptops? Oh, Teresa Ford, it gets much. Oh, we're going to get there in a minute. So Rudy Giuliani starts complaining about Hunter Biden's business dealings in Ukraine. Well, business dealings in general. Because Hunter Biden worked both at one point for the Chinese energy conglomerate CEFC China Energy, who paid Hunter Biden nearly $5 million. Hunter Biden also worked with a Ukrainian energy company called Burisma. Hunter Biden was a board member of Burisma. Okay, thank you, Semprus. Now, remember that Trump's efforts to tie Joe Biden to the removal of a Ukrainian prosecutor investigating Burisma led to his first impeachment. But anyway, now, we're going to hear again about Burisma. So he was a board member of the Ukrainian energy company Burisma for a while, okay? We're going to get back to that. Put a pin in that. December 9th, 2019. Oh, this is... December 9th, 2019. FBI agents, saying they were from the Wilmington field office, served a subpoena on McIsaac for the laptop. Now, he had been trying to contact the FBI because he thought all of this was very suspicious. What he was finding on the laptop, very suspicious. At first, he tried to say it was stuff he saw later once it was his private property because it had been abandoned there. But we've heard from his own book that no, he started looking that night. So he was afraid of going to the FBI himself. So he had his father go to an FBI office for him. And the FBI agent that his father talked to basically kicked him out of the office and said, if you have what you think you have, get a lawyer and get out of my office. What could they do? That's tabloid. That's not a crime. That's not a crime scene. I've got actual stuff to do. He says also he sent his uncle as well to somewhere, and that didn't work either. Okay. So December 9th, FBI agents who said they're from the Wilmington field office served a subpoena to McIsaac for the laptop, the hard drive, he copied it, and all related paperwork. Okay. McIsaac made, at first he said, a copy of the hard drive in case he was ever thrown under the bus as a result of what he knew. He admitted later he made many copies. The two FBI agents did not leave a card, did not leave any paperwork, and told McIsaac Nothing ever happens to people who don't talk about these things. And they said if any representatives for Hunter Biden came looking for the hardware, quote, that I should stall them for a day and these agents would return the product. That sounds like the FBI, doesn't it? Don't leave a card. They served a subpoena for the information, but didn't leave any copies. Took the stuff, tried to take all the stuff, and said, if one of those representatives come looking for it, just let us know. Stall them for a day. We'll return the product. That's not how evidence works. No. Nay. Oh, nay. Oh, heck, nay. Also, these two FBI agents who have no names. Also, don't forget, Hunter Biden allegedly dropped these computers off in a repair shop where there was no one else around and there was no one else working there. And the owner is the only legally blind computer repair shop owner who, as it turns out, knew Rudy Giuliani's lawyer. What a coincidence. See you later, lady. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Michaela. So, I was not able to grab the names or the dates, but there was a Republic. If you would like to look it up, please do. Otherwise, if it's important to you, I will look it up. There is a Republican who asked. It was either the head of the FBI or someone high up in the FBI or the DOJ, or no, it was the FBI. Where's the laptop? And this person in the FBI said, we don't have it. So, as of December 9th, 2019, the laptops, gone completely. The originals are no more. Fingerprints, any other forensic information that might have been on them, gone. So, also keep in mind, this is an ongoing thing where in January 13th of 2020, and this is the time it was known, so it could have happened, conjecture, it could have happened earlier. We don't know. But they know for certain that in January of 2020, New York Times headline, Russians hacked Ukrainian gas company at center of impeachment. Timing and scale of the attack suggests they were searching for embarrassing material about the Bidens. There's nothing that says they couldn't have inserted something. Hunter Biden got emails about his work at Burisma, but dates when those emails came in cannot be verified. Because remember, now you've just got a hard drive. And trying to figure out the metadata, some of it's consistent, some of it's not. So remember I was talking about how Hunter Biden was on the board of Burisma? Well, there on the board with Hunter Biden was a man named Vadim Pozharsky. And in one of these emails that cannot be verified, an email allegedly on the laptop, Pozharsky thanks Hunter Biden for getting to meet his father. When this came out 3 weeks before the election, both Bidens denied Pozharsky had ever met Joe Biden. But hackers had been okay. So you don't know, you can't guarantee who is in control of, even if you say, okay, all of these emails were on this laptop. You can't guarantee who is in control of that, of control of those emails or control of that account. And some of these weren't coming from Google. They were coming from Burisma servers, which were hugely attacked by Russian hackers. Matter of fact, when they attacked in January of 2021, it was so over the top that it made international news. Personally, conjecture, I don't believe for a minute that was the first time they were hacked, but that's just my opinion. End of conjecture. So, January 16th to February 5th, we're in mid-January 2020. We have Trump's first impeachment trial. Okay. August 12th, 2020. So, we're well past Trump's first impeachment trial, and we are coming up on the presidential election in early November. So in August, McIsaac said, my information was leaked on August 12th when, where was it? I think that's when Maxi, guy's last name is, do I have his first name handy? This is page 1. Hang on. Jack Maxi, a Republican activist, he gave the information to he got it from Giuliani, and he gave that data to the Washington Post. Now, when the New York Post had originally been publishing information from this, and they asked computer experts to come in and verify the information, guess what? Experts couldn't verify the information. Couldn't. Matter of fact, they said it was a forensic disaster. The Washington Post kept asking for the data and kept getting rebuffed, but suddenly Jack Maxi, Republican activist, also he calls himself a researcher on Bannon's War Room, but in reality, he's actually a co-host. So, okay. Maxi delivered a portable hard drive to the Washington Post that he got from Giuliani. Oh, that was later. Okay, forgive me. Yes, that's okay. That will happen later. It will go to the Washington Post. But McIsaac said, my information was leaked on August 12th of 2020, so coming up to the election. Says he got threats, fled the state, and went into hiding for a year in Colorado. If you're going to go into hiding for a year because you're that afraid, and this is an ongoing thing, why would you tell people what state you were hiding in? Anyway, August 26th, that same month, McIsaac contacted Giuliani's attorney, Robert Costello. Again, the names of some of the people involved in these shenanigans is just, I couldn't get away with. You couldn't get away with me putting this in a screenplay or a novel. Costello. Subject line, this is what John Paul McIsaac wrote in the subject line in an email to Giuliani's attorney, Robert Costello. Subject line, why is it so hard to be a whistleblower when you are on the right? McIsaac gave Costello a copy of the data. So multiple people were given copies of this. October 2020. Giuliani sent the data to the New York Post, which began publishing reports on it in October 2020, right before the election. June 2021, so much later, Bannon co-host and researcher Jack Maxey delivered a portable hard drive to the Washington Post that he got from Giuliani. So, let me see if I've missed something important here. McIsaac was saying that he at one point he was saying that 5 months ago there was an interview with him, because I went and watched interviews with him. He was saying that he was a little disturbed that the original material he got from this laptop was 300 gigabytes worth of data, and he put it on a 500 gigabyte hard drive. But as of 6 months ago, there was reportedly a new 250 gigabytes of data that had been discovered. 300 plus 250 is not less than 500. And he said he finds that disturbing. And he said that this is important to him because his reputation's on the line. And this has destroyed his business. All of these attacks from the Democrats. Just you go through people's stuff. Why would anyone take their computer to you? You've admitted in a book you published yourself that you willfully went through the income details of a customer for the funsies. For funsies. I think I've got that. I told you that. Yep, got that. Just having a quick look, make sure I didn't. Okay, got that. Okay, none of this is admissible in court. None of it. Zero. Zip. Nothing. Even if there was the most tainted stuff you could imagine on there, none of this is admissible in court because there is no chain of evidence. There is no chain of custody of the evidence. And as a matter of fact, there were, by the time people were looking at copies of copies that had suddenly more information, there were files on the hard drive. It is not a laptop. When they say Hunter Biden's laptop, it's not a laptop. It's not. It's a hard drive. But if they say Hunter Biden's hard drive, it makes it pretty obviously suspicious. Like, why a hard drive? You can put anything on a hard drive. And no one who talks about this ever, not once, has the laptop. Nobody. They don't even say they've got a picture of it. So the folders that were added to this hard drive had names like Salacious Photos and I forget, there were a couple of other ones. Oh, I can't remember off the top of my head. I should have written it down. But you get the idea. Obviously, files centered in one area that someone found interesting. So, all right, and last page of notes, just double checking I didn't miss anything. Yes, and from the McIsaac interview, he recovered 300 gigabytes and put it on a 500 gigabyte hard drive, solid state drive, I should say. 450 gigabytes of data has been newly discovered that wouldn't fit. 250 gigabytes is coming from somewhere, he said, and that concerns me. The FBI confiscated the hard drive and laptops. Got threats. And yes, and the FBI agent said, if any representatives of Hunter Biden come to visit you, stall them for a day, let us know, and we will return the product. You know, you've seen that on FBI shows 100 times, haven't you? So, the next time, and it does keep cropping up, someone's talking about Hunter Biden's laptop, you will know what a load of garbage this is. And then you'll see the same photos over and over and over. Him in his bathtub. Him taking a picture of himself in his bed with his shirt off. Shocking. Him with a crack pipe or something. Yeah, he's a known drug addict. He's recovering. Yeah. Shocking. Why hasn't Hunter Biden been arrested? For what? Someone, who was it the other day, was beside themselves that nothing's been done about the Hunter Biden laptop. Like what? And a matter of fact, I heard something recently, I almost fell over. Someone said that this had to have been a joke, but they were on the far right, so I'm guessing they were serious-ish. They said that Hillary Clinton's 33,000 missing emails were on Hunter Biden's laptop. Bullpucky. Both bull and pucky. And one of these days, I'll do another one of these little in-depth political tea times with you. We'll have to go over the Hillary's 33,000 email situation. I will give you one hint. Someone taking a sledgehammer or whatever to the material, the drives and all of this. When you leave sensitive positions, you are required to destroy the hardware that you've been using. It's required. She wasn't doing anything to hide. She wasn't doing that to hide anything. Her people weren't doing that for her to hide any. It's required. Okay. Lucky girl, was Obama's tan suit also found on Hunter Biden's laptop? Too shocking. Oh my gosh, I hope they don't have pictures. Kristen has a headline, changing subjects. Trump's attorney, Alina Habba, is upset that the DOJ and FBI are looking into mundane crimes like espionage at Mar-a-Lago. Judy Barth, what about fingerprints? There's no laptop. There's no laptop. There can't be fingerprints. And they tried to get the laptop and the hard drive and all the paperwork. But this guy decided, no, he was going to make multiple copies. Didn't turn those over. But the rest of it, yeah, here. Never to be heard from again. No card left for the FBI agents. No card. No copy of the subpoena. He can't see them because he's legally blind. He cannot recognize them. He cannot pick them out of a lineup. He can't describe them. So anyway, all right. So that is that. Oh my gosh. All right. So I've only got about 20 minutes left, 25 minutes left. So I will do I will move on to the tarot portion where we are looking at what is in the collective energy. But that was all from reputable news sources and the mouth of John Paul McIsaac himself. Okay. So, have you guys... Oh, thank you, Julie. Thank you. I appreciate that. Helps. Have you guys seen the photograph that has been put out of the top secret information documents that were found during, well, one of the searches of Mar-a-Lago? Have you guys seen this photo? Oh, thank you, Tarot Girl. Thank you for listening. Yeah, Kristen, news, Mar-a-Lago documents are so sensitive that prosecutors may choose to leave some out of the criminal case to avoid exposure. That's a given. That is completely expected. And oh, did they change the picture? They did. Wall Street Journal had a straightforward picture. Oh, thank you, Green Nightingale. Thank you. This is the documents on the floor. Did they change? Is anybody showing the full? Well, let me just look it up online because, boy, this is worth looking at. All right, let me go here. Kyle Cheney on Twitter posted the picture. Kristen says DOJ reveals why the FBI seized Trump's passports and how it incriminates him further. Trump. Mar-a-Lago classified documents. Here we go. Let me share. Thank you, Marby. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate it. Okay, let me get rid of this and share. Share screen. Chrome tab. Okay, top stories. Analysis. The photo of classified documents at Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort. All right, so this is the Washington Post. Or not. Okay, so it doesn't want me to see that. Insider, will you let me see the picture? Oh, there's something highlighted. The Department of Justice's snapshot of the Mar-a-Lago, it's not a raid, search, shows a curious discovery, a gold-framed time cover about President Trump. Really? Really? You have all of this top secret SCI, and you are focused on a time cover. We have white here where they put blank paper down to cover up sensitive details. But all of these cover pages with the red, yellow, who cares? DOJ released a photo from the Mar-a-Lago raid showing top secret documents strewn on the floor. Wow, I don't care. Don't care. 35. According to Time, Trump ended his presidency with 35 appearances on its cover. I'm sorry. That's okay. Okay. DOJ says a special master in Trump's case would harm national security. So it's bad. Obstruction emerges as a key focus, as they're saying the Trump team may have hidden, moved classified papers, Justice Department says. So I think that we should, I do want to read on one question, certainly, and that is at 102. Here, I'll just type it in over here. Does Trump still have classified material that he shouldn't have? And will he be caught with it? Let's have a look. Okay. Ian McGrath says once the DOJ brings in witnesses under oath from Mar-a-Lago, and gets the truth out of them, they will tell the truth as they will not want jail. Then, in my humble opinion, indictments will start. Ollie just officially requested her 2022 absentee ballot. Excellent. And just having a quick look what you guys, I like that Teresa Ford, you bet your biddy. The carpet is very loud. All right, is Trump still holding on to classified material that he shouldn't have? Apparently, I am incapable of shuffling cards. Oh, this cloth does a lot of good to shield the worst of the sound of shuffling. Mob boss decor, says Suburban Housewife. So, okay, so Trump, where are you? Do you still have classified material you shouldn't have? Oh, heck yes, is the energy. Now we've moved on to conjecture because this is a spiritual practice for me. I am reading the collective energy. This is not from a reputable news source. This is energy. To each their own. Death card. Yeah, it does make you wonder about Ivana's coffin, or what's beneath it, but Does he still have information? It feels like yes. Knight of Cups. Oh, they're coming for him. 7 of Swords. That is the Thief card. 5 of Pentacles. Knight of Swords. 8 of Cups. They are this is in the future. Aggressive law enforcement and collecting evidence. There is no reason why the FBI should not at this moment be going over every last crevice of every property Donald Trump owns, looking for more classified information. They have found a ton of classified information in one place. Go look in the others. They tried to ask nicely, and he just kept stuff. And he doesn't have a legal leg to stand on here. This feels like they will go to his other properties, go after him. And yes, please, can we hear more about this, please? I like that, Kevin. Ding, ding, ding. Yeah. Deborah says they should rifle through his stuff wildly. Cover the news just in. Justice Department prosecutors won't act on Trump until after the election. He is not a candidate. He is not a candidate. He is not. It is the midterms. He has not said he is a candidate. He has not said he's going to be a candidate. He's not declared his candidacy. He is not a candidate. Spiralize says that may change. Gosh, I hope so. All right, will they get the stuff? This feels like people around him talking about what they saw. Nine of Wands, Page of Pentacles, 10 of Cups. This feels like they would be going through not just Trump's properties, but perhaps some other people's related properties and evidence all laid out. It doesn't look like this is the end of that. Jen Glenn says, I highly doubt the DOJ will wait. I hope so. But this is legal silence. Sun, 4 of Cups, Ace of Cups, refusal. He's not going to work with them. And there's too much important stuff just out in the open. Democrats, either legally, civilly, what have you, they are going to rain on his parade. And this feels like a deluge. Metaphorical deluge. All right. So that leaves Marie Henson. The question was, does Trump still have classified information he shouldn't have? And will he be caught with it? What I'm getting is, yeah. 109.30. Will the DOJ really let Trump stroll around without just will the DOJ really not go after Trump until after the midterm elections. He is not a candidate. Just having a look at DOJ. Really? DOJ, you're really not going to go after Trump until after the election. That's what you're saying, huh? Three of Pentacles. Okay. That is a plan. Ace of Cups. That's true, Marie Henson. Need time to build a secure place? Oh, no. Sorry, the whole thing just jumped, and I don't know. Oh, is Janelle. Janelle Espinoza said many implicated in this are in Congress. Oh, okay. Lisa says Trump had a meltdown on Truth Social yesterday. I suspect Trump has received a target letter. Raining on his parade. This is the potential of sending someone to jail. There's all the evidence just lined up. Page of Pentacles. This is the people around him. They don't have a leg to stand on. So I guess the answer I'm getting here for, is they may not go after Trump. They may be going after the people around him first. Aston Volpe saying it isn't about 45. It's about the Republican Party looking bad. Oh, Jen Glenn says Trump had another meltdown on Truth Social today. All right, DOJ. Tower. It would be extremely disruptive. Him strolling around with incredibly sensitive classified material with it hanging out by the pool is also very disruptive, potentially deadly. Lisa Graham, I agree. Follow the ketchup trail. I love you guys. Strength. Page of Pentacles. This guy keeps cropping up. Page of Wands. These are people around him. These are people around him. They're going after the people around him. That's all I'm picking up. So that's all I'm getting there. But it is Wednesday. It is the day that I have to go a little bit short. But that's going to do it for me for today. I hope you enjoyed that. I enjoyed doing the research for it. I do like having the clearest information I can get. And I thought that you needed to know all of that. So when the other side is talking, yeah, that's a point. Deborah Johnson says, sure hope they videotaped everywhere they worked. Well, that's another thing. This man runs a repair shop with, in theory, thousands and thousands of dollars worth of material, and he has vision problems. Why weren't there any cameras? Why weren't there any cameras in that shop who could identify people? Anyway, we're going to get through this. Thank you, Kathy Delisle. Thank you, Plucky Heroine. All right, so it is 1:34 p.m. here in Chicago. At 4 o'clock, I'll be over on the Book Art Media channel to do creative sprints. The creative sprints are going to have their own channel soon, along with other timers and stuff like that. That's coming soon. But for now, over on the Book Art Media YouTube channel. And then I will be right back here tomorrow to read on your political questions. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. We are in this together. And that's why I like giving you guys information. You can have a life, and I will go do all the stupid research. I will take the time to go digging through the interviews. But no, we're in this together. You are not alone, and there are good days ahead. So hang in there. All right, and I'll see you right back here tomorrow. Thank you.